Welcome back. Here we are. It's like 3 in the morning. I gotta say, recording stuff like this is actually I feel like I've talked about this before. It's actually kind of tiresome, especially this late at night. And this is what I mean when I say I didn't know if I wanted to play a video game and not play it on my channel, because this is not exactly the most relaxing way to play a video game. Like I said, one of the best ways to play is to just lay up at night and just kick back and just enjoy myself. And trying to hold a thought at 3 in the morning when you've already had like a busy day and everything, and now you're staring at a screen in a dark room. It's actually not as easy. I don't know, at least not for me. I always start out strong, and I'm like immediately I'm like, why did I? Because I start out like, just coming out the gate. It's pretty good. Like I come out the gate firing, and I'm like, yeah, like, oh, so I should spend all my money, right? As I don't keep it. Come out the gate firing and having all these cool ideas and whatnot, and then after like a good while of recording and then bouncing in between episodes and doing stuff, it's just like, I'm ready to go to bed now. Yeah, let's go for it. I feel like his was cool. Let's go for this too. You got nothing to say? Alright. I'm hoping to beat this very shortly, because as I've said, I do want to start into something else. I got a couple other games already downloaded on the Switch that I could play, but I feel like they're also going to be kind of short. Like, I don't know. I'm weird about stuff like it's gonna be too short for the channel, and then I have some RPGs I think will be cool, but then are those gonna be too long for the channel? I don't know. I just don't know. Do I want to focus more on review type stuff? I don't know. I don't ever know what I want to do with this stuff. Like, I'm just always trying to see what do people resonate with, you know? What is this? See, this is alright. See, when it's just a big room like this, the gun actually works. So I could just stand back and just make them all eat shit. But in the actual boss fight, I'd rather have the fist and powers where I can like dodge and run around and shit. It's just kind of how I'm wired. But I don't know. It's one of those things. Also, this game, because of the nature of it, it does feel kind of repetitive to be playing back and forth.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, get that bitch.
Here's my whip.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you gonna do about that? Alright, she'll do that about it. Oh, see, yeah, I didn't even look at the damage I'm doing. I don't know. I feel like I'm not doing anywhere near as what I should be doing. This is terrible. This is just not my day. See, and if I don't record, I'm gonna do awesome. No questions asked. But yeah, I don't know. To go back to what I was saying, I was thinking about playing an old school Final Fantasy on the channel. I've been really kind of craving like 8 or 9. Some of my favorite games ever. And I haven't played them, honestly, since I was a teenager. I want to say 8 I have not played. Oh, dude, seriously? I don't think I've played 8 since I was about 17 years old. And this is an interesting topic. When I was that age, I think I might have talked about this before. I can't even fucking remember if I do or not. If I have, I apologize. But I related way more to certain characters at that age. Like a lot of RPGs, especially around that era, those like Final Fantasy style RPGs, the JRPG specifically, they always have like shonen style stuff where it's like a teenage male protagonist, and he's always got some like, he's always going through that angsty phase of being a teenager. And during that time, when I was in that phase, I couldn't get enough of those games, and I had fell out of like liking a lot of other different types of games. Like I only ever wanted to play RPGs, and a big part of that was like they had stories and they had all these different like elements to them that required a huge level of thought that I liked. And I liked the characters, and I liked all the stories about angst and death and depression and all that kind of stuff, because I was a teenager, and I was, you know, that's what you do when you're a teenager. As an adult, I've grown I've reignited much more of my childlike wonder in video games. I don't really care about that, or do I? Like it wasn't until I want to say I was 25 when I played Donkey Kong Country 2 again, and I hadn't played it in God knows how many years, and it was like, oh my god, this is one of the greatest games ever made. I love this game. And you know, like when I was 15, my top 10 or 5 favorite games of all time would have been like all dark, twisted RPGs with depressing stories, you know? Like, I mean, Final Fantasy VII back then to me was like the fucking, it couldn't be touched, that game. I even started feeling like I didn't like Zelda as much. And again, when I played Breath of the Wild, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this stuff is amazing, you know? And as an not that I still love those Final Fantasy games and whatever, and I'm still into those, but I'd say as I've gotten older, my palette has widened. I haven't, and I have much more of an affiliation for the shorter and sweeter titles. With the plot doesn't have to be so thick and dense and complicated and sometimes convoluted to be good. And I used to think that way. And because I was like, oh well, yeah, Mario games don't have stories in them, so they're just kind of platformers, right? But no, they're just as riveting and just as interesting, just doing what they do in their own way. Yeah. I like that clanking sound it makes. Alright, let's go to these guys. Because that's both things that I like. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not as picky, I guess you could say, as when I was a teenager. Oh, she's mad at me. Athena, don't be mad at me. Oh man, yeah. See, this is the move right here. This is the move. You know what's crazy? This whole time I've been bouncing around and pressing this button, I was like trying to do my special, and I was like, why aren't I grabbing them and punching them? This would be way cooler if I was punching. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah.
Appreciate the backup.
Yeah, we'll go this way. Now what the fuck is it? Dude, I lose my train of thought like crazy. Well, yeah, either way, because dude, I've completely lost my train of thought at this point. I've thought about replaying through one of those old Final Fantasy games, because they are, still to this day, they're very much like comfort food to me. That's kind of how I feel like Persona games are like that for me. Like, I can always turn on a Persona game. I mean, not just play it casually, but like, anytime I played through, you know, a Persona game, it's just like, fuck, I'm always like having a good time with it. I'm always enjoying it. Like, if you have any good games like that that are like, that you find to be like comfort food, I would love for you to comment that and tell me what that is for you. Where like, when I think back to certain summers in my life, I think about certain video games in particular that no matter what period of my life I was at, no matter what was going on or how bad things might have been, and if things were fucked up or whatever the case may have been, whatever was going on, wherever I was at in life, the one thing I fondly and always look back on in during those times is like the video game I was playing. That's what I always think back on, and how much, like, that's the most prominent memory to me in my head. And then I will call it an episode here. Because I am getting tired. And I need to go to bed. So I will see you guys next time. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you.